So we're back with Shai, Leah, and Brianna. Also joining us via Zoom is relationships coach, podcast host, and founder of The Curious Fox, Effie Blue. Hey, Effie, thanks for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
All right. So how do you define polyamory?
I think you've already done a great job. It's multiple loving, committed, long-term relationships in a way that suits everyone is what I would define polyamory. I think the only thing that I would add maybe, which is a misconception that you brought up, is that it is about sex. It can be. What I have found is that polyamory tends to be about relationships. There's a focus on the relationship side of things. And within, you can even find plenty of people who identify as asexual who also practice polyamory because it can provide a structure around them and their partners being able to meet their sexual needs somewhere else. So for me, polyamory is all about multiple loving, long-term committed relationships.
And sex is could be a bonus for some, or it could be integral to the process for others.
But as a rule of thumb, I would say that people who practice polyamory tend to have more of a focus on the relationship side of things. And when people say they're in an open relationship, that tends to have a bit more of a focus on the sexual exploration side of things.
I got you. Okay, so you are a relationships coach. Do you only deal with polyamorous and open relationships as a coach, or do you deal with all kind of relationships? And are you yourself in a polyamorous relationship?
So I do tend to work with people who are curious about exploring or transitioning into some sort of a non-monogamous relationship. I do coach around this idea of relationship by design. I think that we should consciously and actively design our relationships in a way that we can thrive. And I think, although sometimes I work with people, especially couples who will come to me and they'll say, we want to be in an open relationship. Can you coach us through the transition? And I'm like, sure. And we go through the process, and sometimes they do come out the other side and say, we don't think that we want to be in an open relationship, but the relationship now looks very, very different than the relationships they came in with. Gotcha. So sometimes that redesign process can get them to really reshape the monogamous structure or whatever structure they're in a way that they can now thrive.
And are you in a polyamorous relationship yourself?
Yes, I have been in different polyamorous relationships for maybe now around 8 to 10 years. Come in different shapes and sizes. Anywhere from sort of dating multiple people to sort of cohabiting in a similar way that we have here. I find that structure is what I thrive in. Sure. I do say to people a lot that it is not for everyone.